we get released from the hospital. We go home. I try to sleep as best as I can.
And your mind is just...
It's all over. It's all over. And then I end up waking up. You know, obviously you want to have a good breakfast. You want to have a good lunch. And then I head to the fights. So my older sister, Jennifer, you've met Jennifer.
Yes.
She's driving me to the fights with my brother and me in the vehicle. Literally a minute away from the Coliseum, we get into a car accident.
Get out of here. No way. Hey, Boss, how are we doing? Welcome once again to another episode here at Sun City SITREP. Today we have, the one, the true, the only, the myth, the legend, Stephanie Han. Welcome to the actual podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Really, really do appreciate you. How are you doing?
Good. I appreciate you having me. It really means a lot, so thank you.
No, honestly, the one that's super excited is myself. So let's address the elephant in the room, the big thing, February the 22nd. Talk to us. What is happening? Please let us know.
So February 22nd, I'll be fighting for the world title here in El Paso, Texas.
Okay.
I'll be fighting for the WBA World Title at the El Paso County Coliseum. And I'm so excited. I came back to boxing.
That is huge.
I know. I came back to boxing a couple years ago for the purpose of actually fighting for a world title. And now I'm so excited because I've trained so hard these past couple of years and now it's actually happening. The reality is I'm gonna be fighting for a world title. So I've worked hard and my dreams are coming true.
That in itself, how do you go in there? And the big question is, how do you perform? Because, for people that don't know, you, number one, you're a wife, you're
Yes.
a friend, you're a mother.
Yes.
You're also a police officer.
Yes.
And a, contender for the world, boxing title. How do you handle all that? And what do you say to all those individuals out there that, that have these dreams and aspirations? How do you do it? What's the secret sauce?
It's no pain, no gain, just do it. That was my dad's number one saying.
Yes.
No pain, no gain. And I'm thankful that I had my dad raising us because my dad raised us to be tough and he raised us with a lot of discipline. So it's just a lot of work and a lot of hard work, but I'm used to it. So I've been doing it my whole life. So for me, it's nothing new. Just I have to make a schedule in my head, write it down and figure out what I have to do. And I accomplish each and every goal. But it takes a lot of work and I have to be committed and I have to put in the work and do it. And I really have to give credit to my dad because if I was raised any other way, I don't think I'd be able to do what I do today. So
and your father gave you a good foundation.
Yes.
To be able to go in there and, I guess like how you're saying, overcome these obstacles.
Yes.
So you kind of pre-plan it. Now, let me ask you something. So what happens on the days that, how do you at night, once you're done, you're about to go in there, you're about to sleep, how do you know that you've had a successful day? Is it because,
Because I accomplished everything I needed to accomplish. So my day starts off, I go to work. So I wake up, I go to work in the morning. I get off around 4.
Okay.
And then after I get done, I go home. I feed my kids. Thank goodness my husband is at home right now. He's a coach as well, but he's not in season. Thank goodness.
What is your husband's name, please?
His name is Abner Gracia.
Abner Gracia.
Yes, Abner Gracia.
Honestly, shout out to Abner. You're doing.
Yes.
You guys are doing an amazing. You guys are an amazing team.
I would not be able to do without.
You guys are an amazing team.
So thank you, husband, because I appreciate you letting me follow my dream. I really do.
Well, honestly, that is huge.
It's teamwork. It's teamwork, and he helps me so much with the kids. And obviously my number one priority is my kids. And if I didn't know that they were being taken care of, then I wouldn't be pursuing my dream as a boxer. But I know that he loves them and he takes care of them. He's a great dad.
That's amazing. You're blessed in that sense.
I know. I am blessed, and I feel like sometimes I don't appreciate him. I know I don't. So thank you, husband.
You heard it. She does appreciate you.
I do need you. I do need you on this dream, and I need you in life because I could not be able to do what I do without him. It's a support system too, because my family, it's not only my husband, it's my sisters. So Jennifer, my twin sister Heather, my brothers, they all help me in training. Abraham, Israel, and then especially my dad. He's the one that pushed me to come back to boxing.
Really?
So I had quit boxing when I was 20. Mm-hmm. I was done. I was over. I was burnt out. I was like, I want to live life, Daddy. I was going to UTEP, and then I fell in love with my husband.
Nice.
And then life happens,
Yes, of course.
I get married. I become a police officer. I have my beautiful kids. And my dad, like every year, he was like, every time I saw my dad, he was always like, you come back boxing. You come back boxing. I'm like, no, daddy, no, daddy, no, daddy. And then like, it was every single time I told him.
For 10 years.
Yes, every single day. My dad was like, you come back, always like, Olympic dream, world champion. You come back boxing. You come back boxing. I support you. You dream, you dream. I'm like, daddy. I'm like, no. I had my kid, and then I had my other kid. I was being a police officer, very content. So I'm totally good, but my dad never gave up. Never gave up. Never gave up. And then I don't know if you know my boxing story coming back.
Yeah, believe me, I've been reading a lot about you. From what I understand, please correct me if I'm wrong, is that your sister was about to actually fight, and this was during COVID time.
Yes.
And that's when you step in.
Yes.
And that was that the kickstart of the?
Yes.
Please let people know about that, because this is pretty crazy.
So yes, again, I was an accomplished amateur boxer. I was a national champion. I made Team USA. I've always been an athlete. In high school, I wrestled. I was a 2-time state champion in high school. So again, very driven. Thank goodness, Daddy.
What high school again?
I went to Irvin High School.
Irvin, shout out.
So I'm from the Northeast of El Paso, and it's my home. I love
There we
Northeast.
go.
I love my high school. I'm proud of where I'm from. I really am. So I quit boxing for 10 years. And then Jennifer, during COVID. So Jennifer just had her baby.
Okay.
And her husband is like 6'4". He's a big guy.
Okay.
She gained about 80 pounds during her pregnancy. She ballooned up, okay? Jenny, I love you. You're beautiful now. You're so beautiful. But it was a hard pregnancy for her. And then after she gave birth, Katie Taylor, y'all know who Katie Taylor is.
Yes, okay.
One of the best female fighters in the world today, and will always be one of the best fighters in the world.
Exactly.
She wanted to fight Jennifer. And of course, Jennifer wanted the opportunity, but she only had a couple months to lose the 80 pounds of baby weight.
That is
during
wild.
COVID, all this stuff that was happening, there's no sparring partners. I'm like, I know Jennifer was meant to go on TV to lose. I'm like, Jennifer, if you have no sparring partners, like, I'm gonna go help you. Let's do it. So I came back to help her, to spar with her. And during that time, I thought I was gonna suck because it's been so long since I've competed.
You felt like it's kind of like a bicycle. I need to get back into
Yes.
it. Just
And I was like, I don't know if I'm
condition.
gonna be good. There's a lot of unknown questions. I was like, I was kind of scared, but I was like, I'm gonna do it because as a family we support each other.
Exactly.
That's how
That's
we
what
grew up.
matters. Yes.
That's how we grew up. And her success is my success. My success is her
Exactly.
success. And I'm like, you're not gonna go out there and lose. Now you're a mom. Let's show them what you're made of, Jenny. Let's do it. So I went back and I was still good. I still had my skills, and I was shocked. I was still I could still move. And then Jennifer, Louis' coach, who's now my coach, or
Okay.
not Louis' coach, Jennifer's coach, who's
Louis.
Louis Burke.
He's now your coach.
Yes, now he's my coach. He's like, yeah, you could come back. You could be a world champion. If you come back, you could be a world champion. My brother Abraham, he was there. He was a professional boxer. And then my dad, obviously, every single day was telling me to come back to box, right? So I was like, you know what? Right now, as a police officer, I just got assigned to the academy during that time. So I had a normal schedule. I'm like, this is the perfect time to come back. And if I
Right.
do not come back, then it's never going to happen.
Exactly.
And in the back of my head, I always knew I was good enough. And I'm seeing all these accomplished boxers that I beat in the amateurs, have success in professional boxing. I'm like, you know what? I always had in the back of mind, I'm gonna regret it if I don't come back. And just the timing came back.
So that internal pressure was also there due to the fact because this is a passion and something that you love.
I was good at it, and I kind of internalized me not going back to boxing. I was like, it's fine. I can live with it. I'm content. But inside, I knew that
There's still that fire.
it was still there. It was still there, and I knew that I was going to regret it for the rest of my life if I never came back. But I was never going to tell anybody. You know what I mean? And the outside, I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, but inside,
I knew that I still had fighting left in me, and just the timing of it. Just the timing of it, and now I look at my life, especially back then, if it was God's will. You know what I mean?
Amen.
If it was meant to be. No, truly. And right now, He's blessed my path in so many ways.
He's just opening up
No,
doors.
He really is. He truly is. So I am blessed, and I'm so
Good.
grateful.
Glory to Him and Him alone, man. That is awesome.
No, really. I truly feel that I'm blessed, and He's guiding me. So I'm very grateful. Grateful.
Wow. So now you're back, you're training, you help out your sister. And so basically this is 2021 till now. So we have 3 potentially going on the 4th year of you going back into it. You have your routine, like you said. I go in there, wake up, go to work, feed the kids, head to training.
Yes.
Let me ask you this, because, and we were talking a little bit about this in the backstage, where you have to travel to another city to go train.
Yes.
That's wild.
So,
you know,
yes.
people in El Paso, because we were just talking, you have to go to Las Cruces.
Yes, I drive.
You know?
I drive to Las Cruces almost every day. Go to work. I go to work. I go to Las Cruces, and then after Las Cruces, depending on the day, if I have more time or how I feel, I'll go train in the Northeast with my family in my dad's gym, and then I come home. I live on the West Side.
So then you go back home.
Yes.
Rest and then redo it again.
Yes, redo it. So Monday through Friday sucks because it's just
the grind.
It's the grind. It's no pain, no gain. Got to do it.
Let me ask you this: what about your sleep? Because I mean, to be in optimal health like you are in, I imagine that you have to take care of your body.
Yes.
You have to eat very well.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff in there that you have to, that's calculus.
I know. I know that there's research on recovery and sleep and how necessary it is for you. For me, I do the best that I can. I do the best that I can to get enough sleep during the weekdays, but sometimes I feel like I don't get enough sleep. But on the weekends, I'll catch up.
Okay, there you go. So you kind of reset.
Yes, on the weekends, I'll catch up. And then fight week, I take that week off. I take that week off just to be fully rested and recovered so I could perform at the best that I possibly can.
Wow.
So there's sacrifices. I know I'm not the most ideal world-class athlete, but I do what I can because I have a life that I have to still do and still be mother and everything else, my responsibilities.
So let's kind of go in there and let's kind of talk about this, because one of the things that I do want to highlight, and this is important for people in El Paso to go in there and understand, is that, you are going in there, you're an icon in El Paso. You're basically, a star here, just like all your family.
I truly appreciate that. Thank
you. You guys really are. But I think that a lot of people don't understand, because they just think of the entertainment portion and this is something that I kind of wanted to jump into is, like, for instance, people don't know that, you kind of have to promote yourself in order to go in there and sell your tickets, which, by the way, El Paso, if you guys are seeing this, please go ahead and purchase the tickets directly from, Stephanie, because that in itself helps. Can we get into the business aspect? Because, we were talking backstage that not only are you a world top, actual contender and athlete, professional, at the same time you kind of have to be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Like, in other words, can we dive into that so that people understand, like, hey guys, like, this is just not like, it's not like all of a sudden that's all you do all day long.
No, it is not.
Let's kind of jump into that. What would you like to teach people so that they kind of understand, like, hey guys, like, let's support our local
fighters.
Yeah,
fighters. So yes, the fighters themselves, here in El Paso, I've been fortunate to fight in Paso my past couple of fights.
Mm-hmm.
King's Promotions, they've been...
Shout out to King's Promotions.
Oh yeah, shout out to King's Promotions. Thank goodness that they're bringing quality fights here in El Paso and that all the local fighters here in El Paso get a show.
Get exposed.
Yeah.
Because if not, you have to travel.
Exactly.
So now if you have to travel, that means you have to pay for your lodging. That means you have to pay for your meals. That means you have to pay to train at or spar.
It depends on the event. For the most part, they will cover your room and board. They'll cover your food. In the beginning, I've had to pay for my own way. I fought in Mexico. I fought just to even build my record, because a lot of people, they looked at my record, they looked who I was.
Which is 9-0, by the way.
Yes, now I'm 9-0. But in the beginning, I wasn't. It was really hard for me to get fights. I was 1-0, 2-0. No one wanted to fight me because they looked at my sister, they looked at my brother. I'm like, oh no, she knows how to fight. She has an amateur record. Oh, they don't want to fight her.
Wow,
so professional boxing.
I want to jump into that because there's calculus in that as well. Because people are trying to set themselves up. You want to have the best record because that kind of makes, so it's not like, hey, I have a fight next week. Let's.
Professional boxing is it's really hard because you get to pick and choose who you want to fight. So it's really difficult for me to get fights. I was like, please, I'm gonna have a fight, please.
So
and then
that
it doesn't
cloud that because of your family's name.
Oh yes.
Does go in there marginalize you because I get it, because some of those fighters be like, man, what if she beats me?
Yes.
She's 1-0. She beats me. I have a stain now in my record. So wow, please let's jump into that. That's wild.
No, it is really hard. I even thought about changing my name. So I am married. But I kept my last name. My last name is Han. I absolutely love my name.
No, you have to.
I love my name, and eventually I will take my husband's name, but just for now, I love my name.
No.
But my husband, he's Hispanic.
Okay.
So he's like, go to Stephanie Gracia. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm like, maybe. I was like, you know what? Maybe I will, because I was not getting fights.
So you were this close to say, hey, you know what? If I change the name, then potentially this is
they
gonna
don't know who
open
I am. They'll fight me. That's how I felt. That's how
That is
my
wild.
sister was like, yeah, do it. And I'm like, oh. But yeah, I had to pay my own way I fought in Mexico. I had to pay my own way.
Meaning travel?
I traveled, paid my own food, the hotel, everything. I had to pay. I didn't get paid for that fight just so I could have a fight. You know what I mean? Like, that's the sacrifices I had to make just to be able to have an opportunity.
Wild.
But I'd rather have those opportunities than not have any opportunities. And then I'm training for a year and have nothing to show for it. But luckily, now I'm world ranked, so I'm able to get the fights and get compensated for it. So it's great.
Good.
But obviously, you know, females compared to men, we don't get paid as much. But that's another topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in El Paso, you know, nowadays, everything's about social media. You have to promote yourself.
Yes.
They have to know who you are. I know Jennifer and AB, when they started professional boxing, it didn't matter about social media. It's like, oh, it is what it is. And us as a family, we're not very
No, you guys are private, super humble. This is what I love about your family.
Yes.
You guys are super humble. You know, you guys do a lot for the community. Your father has taught many individuals, you know, in his academy, you know, and you guys are super humble. So I guess this is a different flavor,
This is different. So it's something different. We have to be like, okay, post something or share something. So I'm like, hey, I just posted something. Hey, can you guys like and share? Like, we have a family message. I truly do that. You know what I mean? And it's all about social media. So I am promoting myself. I'm getting better at that. For me, it's like stepping out and being more confident in that, because I'm very reserved. I'm an extremely reserved person. So if I didn't have to,
you like privacy, you know?
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh yes, but now I know that to make it, especially in the entertainment, you have to promote yourself. It is what it is.
Yes.
So suck it up. But for King's Promotions coming here, you know, luckily I have a name in El Paso because of my dad, because of my older brother, because of my older sister, Jennifer. I'm a police officer, so I know I'm able to sell tickets. But if I'm able to sell tickets, you know, promote myself in El Paso, I bring people in, that reflects to the promoter. You know what I mean? So, you know, they come and they want to have shows because they know it's going to be successful. Exactly.
So so that people could kind of understand. So basically, you know, at the end of the day, you know, the fight or the bout that's going to happen, you know, if there's no people in the seats, then, you know, individuals are gonna be like, well, why?
Exactly.
Why are we gonna do this?
Why is the promoter gonna come back if it's not gonna be successful? So
you guys heard it, El Paso.
No,
let's go in there and let's truly support. You know, and I'm pretty sure that in the screen when they come out, you guys are gonna be able to see the QR codes for you guys to be able to, you know, actually go in there and add it. So now those tickets go directly to you. Can you explain that process to people?
So I get tickets, I sell them. I don't get to keep the commission off the tickets. No. But I feel like it's easier when I do sell tickets because people want to meet me, and you know, it's like more of a connection as well. And I don't mind meeting these people that are fans and that want to come support me as well as all the other fighters. So for me, it's more work, but I don't mind it at all. And it's not only me that's, you know, hustling, it's all the other fighters too.
They're all attempting to go in.
They're all trying to hustle and to promote themselves, to bring people to come to our fights. And I know that every show gets better. So we are developing a following. It's not just me, it's all the other fighters. So I'm glad that King's Promotion's coming now, and that there's actually a world title fight in El Paso. That's great.
So let's kind of go in there and let's kind of talk about this. So what does the future hold? You know, so you go in there, you're gonna win. You know, we pray and we call it in Heavenly Father's name. You know, you are going to win. What's next? What does the future kind of hold? You know.
So I want to win this fight February 22nd.
Yes.
I want to become the WBA World Lightweight Champion, female lightweight champion. And after that, I want to go for all the belts. That's what I want. I want to be the undisputed lightweight female champion of the world.
That is amazing.
No, I truly do. And I truly believe in myself.
Good.
I know that there's, they don't think I'm at that level. I know I have a lot of haters and a lot of people that aren't confident in my abilities, but I know what I'm capable of. And I know that I don't have an advantage like some people where they train full time all day, every day. That is their job of professional boxer. They're 10 years younger than me. You know, they don't have kids.
They
don't have the responsibilities.
They don't have a schedule.
Exactly.
You know?
They don't have the responsibility I have, but I know inside that I was given this gift.
Amen.
I know that I've trained my whole life. I've competed my whole life. I know I took a long break, but life happens, you know?
Yeah, no,
and
most definitely.
I don't regret getting married. I don't regret having my beautiful kids. I do not regret becoming a police officer. Not at all. I think it's made me who I am.
There you go.
It's made me better. And I want to show the world that everything that I do in life, being a full-time police officer, being a mother,
being a wife,
everything that I'm
being
doing,
everything,
everything that I'm doing, that I'm still capable. And any person, just like me, because I was content in life. I didn't want to come back. I didn't feel like I needed to come back to boxing, you know. But I still had it in me. Still had it in me. I was like, you know what? There's
that burning, that
exactly.
small amber that was still there.
There was still fire inside me. So I was like, you know what? I still have it. Now or never. There's second chances, and God has blessed me to come and actually become a world champion. Hopefully I do become a world champion February 22nd, but with those opportunities, you know, there's always second chances if you believe in yourself and you put in the work.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
No, and like I said, I think my Heavenly Father, He's opening up doors for you. So, and that, like your story in itself, when people actually, you know, take a deep dive into it, it's amazing. You know, because you continue to go in there and kind of mentioning your kids. I would love to go in there and kind of, if it's okay, we focus on your family, because we were also talking about that backstage in regard, you know, to your two beautiful children.
Yes.
You know, do you mind introducing them to the actual public? I want individuals to understand that, you know, dedication, hard work, you know, and the commitment, you know, is paramount, you know, to do things.
I have two beautiful kids. My son is 9 years old. His name is Johan, and my daughter's 7 years old. Her name is Josie. I think in life, the best thing I could have ever done is be a mother.
I honestly, you know, look, speaking to your sister, she mentioned the same thing after she had, you know, her kids. She was like, I had like this mama strength. Like there's something in you that, you know, that like you're able to pull. Because I am a strong believer that you pull from, you know, those that surround you, and you pull, and that gives you drive.
Oh yes, it
so
does.
Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, 100%. It gives you strength like that you never knew you had. My last fight I fought in July for the WBA International belt. I fought a girl that was, I want to say 11 years younger than me. She was tough. She had fought 3 world champions. She was no joke. I think I was overtraining for that fight because I felt exhausted like round 1, you know, like physically exhausted. And I was just like, oh my goodness. I'm like, why am I so tired? You know, I truly think I was overtraining. But every round when I went to the corner, I was saying my kids' names. Come on, Johan, Josie, do it for them, Johan, Josie. So I was saying their names every round. I was like, you got this, you got this. I was thinking about them every round. They were my motivation every round. So when I went back, I was like, I got this, I got this. No matter how hard or how tired I am, it doesn't matter. I'm doing this for my kids.
Wow, man, that is, you know, and I'm always so interested in that aspect in regards to the internal, you know, processing of things, specifically for individuals like you that are, you know, high, you know, you're a high contender, high athlete, you know, and you know that inner gird of like.
The fortitude that you have, yes.
Yeah, the fortitude, because that you know you're pulling from that. So even though your shoulders are tired, your arms are tired, you know, you're feeling your legs, you know, kind of, you're telling yourself, no, let's go into.
Your mind is powerful.
Let's push through it. So that's what you were doing. You were basically
every round I was exhausted, and I was going back and I was like, you know, gotta do it, no pain, no gain. Like again, my dad's words come back to my head, and my kids were there. I'm like, you know, I gotta do it for them. This is why I came back, and I'm doing it for them. So
let's kind of go in there and let's talk a little bit about, you know, both your kids. So you know, it's 7 and 9, correct?
Yes.
Can we talk a little bit about, you know, your daughter? You know, because we were talking about that. You were mentioning that, you know, she's the love of your life.
Yes.
She's a cornerstone to a lot of things.
Yeah,
lives. They are.
They're both like, I love them so much. I'm like, this sucks. They could break my heart. You know, like they could break my heart. They really can.
Do they go to your fights?
So my son does.
Okay.
My son goes to my fights, and he's my biggest fan.
Really?
He's so excited. He thinks I'm invincible. Like he thinks I'm Superwoman. Like he really, like Wonder Woman. He really thinks like I'm like the best thing in the world. You know?
That is
he has
amazing.
So much confidence
you should be so proud of that, man.
He records a phone. He's like, yeah, let's go, mama. Like I watch his recordings afterwards like, yeah, go mama, punch her. You know, he truly thinks I cannot lose. This boy is like my biggest fan.
That's amazing.
No, and then he wears like my shirts proudly. I gave him my coat last time. It says the Enforcer in the back on it. Like he's so
and he
proud.
was rocking it.
And then after I won, he goes up in the ring. I'm like, where'd you come from? And he's just taking pictures. He loves the attention. He get like photobomb like everyone. I was like,
That is
Johan,
so
move a little
cool.
bit. He was like, no, he just stayed with me. I'm like, okay, sorry guys, we're gonna take pictures of my son.
That
He's
is
joining
so
our pictures.
cool.
So yeah, he's my biggest fan. I absolutely love him. My daughter, she cannot go. She's special needs.
Okay.
So it's too much for her. She has
The stimulus.
the stimulus. She does have seizures, and then the late nights. It's just too much. Her environment. She needs a set schedule.
I see what you're saying.
So maybe in the future, but no. Right now, she's comfortable being at home. It would just be too much stress on her if she went to my fights.
Okay. Now, can you mention the name, because you did say that there's only 200 individuals worldwide.
Yes, there's about 200 individuals worldwide.
I would love to
with
bring
my daughter syndrome.
I would love to bring attention and highlight, what this is, because I think awareness is key.
Yes.
Specifically for individuals that, might not understand what's going on. And I think that awareness in itself is something super important. And this is why I'm telling you that I'm astonished at your story, because, as a father, having kids is a blessing.
Yes.
But doing everything that you do and how you're doing it is what really stands out. So, can you mind? Can we kind of?
No, I don't mind talking about my daughter. So her syndrome is called Nicoletis-Baraitser syndrome.
Nicoletis-Baraitser. Okay.
Yes, it was named after the scientist who discovered her syndrome, the geneticist who discovered syndrome. It's a mutation in one of her genes, and just like other syndromes out there, there's severities of how they're affected.
Okay.
So like Down syndrome, there's
exactly.
severe,
Spectrum. There's
mild.
Yes. Okay.
My daughter is severely affected. She has every cell in her body is affected by this gene mutation. People with this syndrome, they're affected cognitively and their motor skills as well. So some are able to walk, some are able to talk. My daughter is not able to walk. She's not able to talk. She's 7 years old, can't walk. She's able to roll around, that's about it.
Okay.
She says she doesn't say any words, but she'll babble a little bit.
Okay.
Her biggest medical condition is seizures.
Okay.
So she had her first seizure at 1 year old. The scariest thing ever.
I could only imagine.
Scariest thing ever. She has a lot of other things that have happened throughout her life, health-wise. She's on several medications, seizure medicines, but for us, it's just me and my husband. We just give her the best quality of life.
Exactly.
We
God bless you guys for that.
No,
honestly.
we absolutely love her. In the beginning, it was scary because we knew that she was going to be different. That's what the doctor said. Like, yeah, based on how she looks and she's not reaching her developmental levels.
Stages,
yeah, she was never reaching those. But like, yeah, we automatically knew that there was going to be something wrong with her, but only time would tell. We didn't find out her syndrome until she was about a year and a half.
A year and a half. So for the first entire, let me ask you this, because like I said, I just have a 15-month-old. For let's say new parents that are going through something like this, what word of advice would you go in there and give them, to understand that this is still a blessing from Heavenly Father,
No, it is.
So what would you let them know, because I could only imagine, individuals, and it could be this or it could be anything else, what would be your words of advice to them and wisdom to them?
It is hard. In the beginning, when me and my husband found out that she was going to be different, it was a denial phase. Obviously, because
so there is that initial,
as a parent, you want your child to be perfect.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
You want your child to be perfect. My son is perfect, right? In my eyes, my son is perfect. No, but as a child, he's had no developmental issues. So, we automatically assumed it was going to be another blessing, right? As in that sense, like a normal child. And when we realized that she was going to be different, it was denial, because we kind of hoped, hey, maybe she'll be okay. Maybe the doctors are wrong.
Exactly.
But then when she wasn't reaching the stages that she was supposed to be at, then we accepted it. And once we accepted it, it was fine. You know what I mean?
Okay. So that acceptance then switches your mindset to approach things differently.
Yes. And that was it was accepting it and saying, okay, It doesn't matter what she has, because it took so long to get genetic testing approved. It doesn't matter what she has. She's going to be loved no matter what.
Exactly.
She's going to be loved. And gosh, like, she is truly loved. And I am so blessed to have her. You have no idea. Like, she is my blessing. And
I see so many of the posts that you have on Instagram, and it honestly, it looks amazing.
No, she's my blessing.
She smiles, you know.
She loves me. She loves my husband. Her loves are me and my husband for sure. Like, the love of her life is us two, and it makes a difference when we step in the room and we hold her. So yeah, she's always going to be our blessing, and we are so, like, we call her our angel because she is an angel.
Exactly.
No, she is an angel. And I'm a police officer, so I've seen things out in the streets. I've seen kids get neglected. I've seen kids that are special needs get neglected.
Yes.
Even adults, you know what I mean? And it breaks my heart. It truly breaks my heart, because kids, special needs people, they are truly blessings in life.
They are.
They really are. And for someone not to appreciate them, and for someone not to value them, and in their heads they think, oh, it's just so much work. Oh, it sucks because I have to do this, I have to do that. I'm like, you have the wrong mindset. You have the wrong mindset, because you don't know what you're missing. You don't know what you're missing, the blessings that you're going to have because they're in your presence. You're in their presence. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
and I also imagine that your heart, your persona, the way you see things evolves.
Yes. It truly does.
It makes you I believe it makes you a better human.
I think being a parent makes you a better human, and then being a parent for a special needs child even makes you that much more knowledgeable and understanding of the world. It really does. I am better because I have my kid, my son, and I'm better because I have my daughter. It makes me better. Yes.
No, and I agree with you 100%, because it actually gives you a deeper, a deeper appreciation and understanding of, valuing time.
Yes.
Valuing those around you.
Yes.
Because, we have to be honest, life nowadays is so busy, so fast, heck, you could go in there and lose 4 hours. Just you end up opening your phone, and before you know it, there goes 4 hours because you went on some rabbit hole.
Yes.
And that that actual sense of being able to commute with people doesn't exist as much.
Correct.
So I could only imagine that gives you that ability to have that patience, and just that overall empathy.
Patience and appreciation, empathy. Yeah, empathy is a very good word. Yes. And every time I see special needs kids, I am totally drawn to them.
Yes.
Like, totally drawn to them.
There's there's something on it, because you're able to connect now with those parents. You're able to connect with with everybody in that, because now you understand.
Yes. I was working off duty at the theaters.
Okay.
And I remember seeing this little girl, and she's the same size as my daughter. Same age as my daughter, and she's in a wheelchair, and I see her, and I automatically go to her. I think the mom was kind of like, what? I was like, oh, she's so beautiful. Like, what a beautiful angel.
Yes.
And then once I told her, I was like, my daughter's special needs too, and she looks the same age. I showed her a picture of my daughter, and we made a connection.
You guys bonded.
Yeah, we totally bonded. And it's crazy, because now they're classmates.
No way, really? That's so cool.
They're classmates, and they're the most beautiful thing. So every time I see her, I'm just like, her name is Bailey. She's absolutely beautiful.
Shout out to Bailey.
Her mom's amazing. Her mom's an amazing person, amazing human being. But yes, that's just that connection, that bonding of understanding as a parent.
Yeah. To be able to share that, because, whether to be able to share that, that commonality could I imagine it just, truly lights up,
It's something that I guess as special needs parents, only we can understand and connect at that level. But again, she truly understands her blessing, and she truly gets it. So I'm just like,
That's amazing.
I totally love her, and I totally love her family. Her family is an amazing family, and her daughter is so special.
Right.
Yes, so special.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I love the fact that you are, so that people, those that see this, they could truly understand, because I'm pretty sure that everybody thinks it's so easy. Oh, well, we see you up there. It must be nice, but they don't understand all of these, anecdotes, all this, struggles, all this hard work, goes into all of this.
Yes, and I'm struggling, and I'm sacrificing right now to make my family's life better. That is my ultimate goal.
There we go.
That is my ultimate goal. So yeah, I know they're seeing me right now thinking that my life is easy, or it's very
kosher.
I have it all.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I work hard for what I do.
Exactly.
I work hard for what I do. And at the end of the day, again, I'm becoming world champion. Hopefully, I become a world champion.
You will.
Again, I'm going to be humble, and I always visualize to be a champion.
There we go.
But
Have that winner warrior mentality. I
always
love
have
it.
Yeah, I train hard, and at the end of the day in the ring, I'm the best person's gonna win, and that's always gonna be me. That's how I
Exactly.
feel. But if I'm able to bless my family in the future because of my accomplishments, especially my daughter, you know what
Yes.
I mean? Then awareness for her,
Would that be
blessings for them. Yes.
Would that be a cool dream for you? Because one of the things that I kind of want to talk about is that so I wanted two things. Number one is, I would like to speak to, the fact when you're out in the community, how do you handle the fact that, people recognize you, people, know you, the more you keep climbing up, that's inherently going to compound and increase. And then the second question I wanted to ask, is there any, organizations, that you would also like to go under, and whether in the future or something that you're currently doing, that you would like to highlight? So I guess we could start with part one. So how are you handling the fact that people, I'm pretty sure that if you walk in, I don't know, to Texas Roadhouse, and I'm pretty sure people are like, hey, Stephanie, or,
It is nice getting recognized. It truly is
Really?
nice getting recognized here in El Paso. I'm glad that people are recognizing me, and I'm making a name for myself here in El Paso.
Yes.
That means that hard work is paying off. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And recognition, not only because of me, but because of my family.
Exactly.
Jennifer Hahn, my sister, was El Paso's first world champion. My dad has been in El Paso teaching martial arts for the past 45 years here in El Paso.
That is amazing.
So for me, El Paso is my home, and I'm glad that people know who my dad is, my sister, my brother, and my family.
Exactly.
I take a lot of pride in my last name, Hahn.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
I haven't
you
changed my
have to
last
be.
name. I love my last name. So for me, I'm very proud.
Exactly.
I'm very proud. And for the most part, they see my family. They know who we are. They know that we're humble. They know that we're hard workers. So the hard work is paying off. So I'm very, very proud of who I am here in El Paso.
Okay.
And organizations, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Obviously, I'm so busy right now.
No, most
But
definitely.
I am so proud to be part of the El Paso Police Department.
Yes.
I know I have a lot of their support, and I'm so grateful.
Let's kind of talk about, because honestly, shout out to all of officers that are out there, all of you guys that are putting, your life in the line and being a civil servant. I just want to thank you guys, and God bless you out there, because it's a tough job.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna tell you, it's a very tough job, and it's a job that truly doesn't have a lot of that recognition, appreciation. Yeah, in the sense where, you also have individuals that have marginalized it to make it seem like an officer is bad, which in all truth and reality, you're in trouble. Who are you gonna call?
Yes,
You're gonna
exactly.
call your local law enforcement to assist you. So full support. Full support. So I'm so glad to hear that the actual agency is, supporting you. I'm pretty sure a lot of your, brothers and sisters in arms, they go and if they can, they go watch the fights or.
Yes, I'm blessed that they do support me. And again, my brothers and sisters in blue, they keep the city safe.
Exactly,
They
they
work
do.
hard. We are understaffed as a department, and I'm glad that the ones that are working with our department, they do their job and they're here.
Yes.
And like you were saying, it is sad that people, they associate one bad apple as a whole department. You know what I mean? And it's not.
And we also have to call it for what it is. So, and I hope it does change. There, in the past, honestly, I would say in the past decade or so, there's this been huge actual, labeling, or type of, like a fringe of society has labeled, law enforcement as something that is not necessary, which is completely wrong. I disagree.
It's crazy.
I disagree. It makes no sense to me, because I'm gonna be honest with you. This is why one of the things that I like to do every time, even if I'm at Sam's, it doesn't matter wherever I go and I see an officer, I like to thank them for what they do. You see, I really do. I'm like, hey, thank you for your service.
And I do appreciate that, because I used to work off duties. I'll be on patrol, and when people say thank you for what you do, it did make a difference. And it made my day. No, it truly made my day. So I'm like, wow, thank you. We want to feel appreciated.
Yeah.
A lot of the officers here on our department, we do our job because we want to protect our community, because
you
we
guys
want
have
to
a
serve our
vested
community.
you have a vested
Exactly.
interest. You live here. This
Yes.
is exactly where your kids go to school,
Exactly.
with your family goes to school. So not only do you wanna, you're giving back, but yeah.
Yes, and we are human. We are human.
You know what? And we have to highlight that at the end of the day, you are.
We are mothers.
Fathers,
we are fathers.
brothers,
we are
sisters.
sons. We are
Yes,
brothers.
yes.
We are sisters.
Preach it. Yeah.
We are daughters. We're grandparents. We're human. At the end of the day, we serve our community, and we want to make it home to our families.
Yeah.
And that is our ultimate goal. So Thank you, brothers and sisters in blue. Thank you for the police department, and I'm so proud to be part of this police department. I really
That
am.
is so good. So you're in the academy now, right?
Yes.
So you're an instructor for, is it self-defense?
I am an academy instructor, and one of my jobs is I do teach self-defense to the recruits.
How's that mountain? You guys run that mountain, huh?
Oh yes, we run the mountain.
I mean, that is because I've met a lot of individuals that are police officers, and that mountain is
Scenic drive is hard.
Yeah.
Scenic drive is hard. When I was a recruit in the academy, running it was so hard. It was so painful. But now, because I run it so often and because I'm in shape, better shape than I was as a recruit, it's easy now. It took a while to get there. It took a while to get there, but yes.
Good. No, honestly, because how many miles is that you guys go in there and run?
It just depends. Usually we want to build them up, and it depends where, if we go right or we go left.
Okay.
If we go right towards the flagpole all the way down to the gate and coming back, probably about 2 miles.
Okay.
But usually we'll run longer, but if we go left, it just depends on the route you take.
Really?
Yes.
So
it's all good runs up there. If the police officers are hearing me, they all know what the wheeling run is.
Okay.
It's horrible.
It's horrible.
Because you finish a run or you're almost done with the run, then you have to go up wheeling, and it's all uphill. And
no
it's very hard.
way.
Your legs are burning the whole time.
Oh.
And then you think you're done halfway, and it only gets worse.
Oh. So shout out to all, all those in the blue line, that must have been grueling.
Yeah, they all have memories. All police officers have memories of scenic drive, of wheeling drive for sure.
Let me ask you something. So let's say that, we have young individuals that are like, hey man, I do want a career in law enforcement. What would be, and I know we're kind of promoting,
Yes.
which is, I think it's cool, what would be your advice for individuals that want to seek, that actual type of, job, whether it be something that they want to do for the rest of their lives or something where they maybe want to gain, first experience in the local PD and then from there either go, state or go federal. What would be your recommendation in regards to people are successful in actually joining a career? Because I mean, the benefits are pretty good.
Yes.
The retirement is pretty good. There's,
Yes.
There's a lot of other intangible things that come with that actual, career. So what would be your advice for them?
For anyone that wants to do law enforcement,
Yes.
I think law enforcement is a great profession to get into. Again, we do have benefits, which is nice. You can make it a career.
Okay.
With our police department, El Paso Police Department, it's so nice because there's so many units you could be part of.
Wow.
Everyone starts off patrol, but if you don't want to stay in patrol, you could advance to different units.
So there's different special actual, like you say,
Specialized units, yes,
that
within
they
the
could go.
department.
So that means
So if they get bored, of patrol, then it sounded like I said board of patrol.
If they get bored of actually having to patrol and do a beat, okay.
They could go to specialized units. We have attack unit. They're the ones that investigate burglaries of vehicles, of habitations.
I would imagine the individuals that also handle. Let me just kind of ask you some. What about people that like animals? You guys work with dogs.
We have an animal cruelty unit.
Oh wow! So there's
we have a canine unit.
Oh wow!
We have a narcotics unit. We have crimes against children unit.
Wow!
Crimes against persons. CID.
Okay.
They're also detectives as well. Airport officers.
Really? So there's a vast.
There's a vast majority. You could do whatever you want in the department. You could gain so much experience and knowledge on this department. And again, you can make it a profession, a career. We do have a pension. I'm promoting police department. Obviously, a lot of people do start in our department and they go federal, but it's a good foundation to start with our department.
Yeah, and then you're doing it in the community, so that's something that you get to actually have the foundation of law enforcement within your community.
And we work a lot. We work hard. Our department is great. For anyone that wants to do police as a police officer with our El Paso Police Department or any law enforcement agency, my recommendation is to stay out of trouble.
Okay.
Obviously, you want to have a good record so you could get accepted. Have you been arrested multiple times? If you have criminal warrants, if you have traffic warrants, make sure you take care of it. Criminal warrants, I don't know if you might not make it
yeah.
through, you might get disqualified. Traffic warrants, make sure you take care of your warrants.
Okay, so that in other words, you have to live as an exemplary citizen to be able to go out there, because you have to uphold that. I mean,
Yes.
if
You have to lead by example.
Exactly.
You have to lead by example, and you have to be clean. We can't have a criminal basically arresting people
Yeah,
and have a record. So,
yeah,
but
that
if you
would-
truly want to do law enforcement, then just make sure you stay clean. Stay clean. Also, as well, drugs. Don't be doing drugs.
Don't be doing drugs
Don't
or
be
anything
doing
like
drugs.
that. Yeah, and then specifically nowadays that you have, like, we have Las Cruces, which is
Yes.
basically chaparral. You have,
Yes, I know a lot of people do marijuana.
Yeah.
In Texas, it is still very illegal.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
And we have a rock throwaway, which is, Sunland Park, all that is also
Yes.
New Mexico. So
So New Mexico, yes, it's legal, but Texas is very illegal, and you have to be clean. You can't be doing marijuana. You can't be doing the controlled substances like the hard stuff, heroin, crack, cocaine, none of that. So
and honestly, and it's important to also be in top physical shape, mentally and physically at the same time, so that individuals are able to operate. But like you said, it is a good actual position to set yourself up.
yes, and it gives you purpose. A lot of people, they come to our department because they're looking for a purpose in life, and what better purpose, working and serving your community at the same time. And that's how I feel.
Let me ask you, what is the one thing that you enjoy the most about being, part of El Paso PD?
When I was on patrol, I loved making a difference in people and truly helping them whenever I could. It was very rewarding for me. And then now, because I'm an instructor at the academy, making a difference in the recruits' lives and truly preparing them for the real world.
Wow,
So-
that must be pretty. So now you're basically, diversifying and putting in your knowledge onto those individuals that are going to be out here. So that
Yes,
that must be, that must be pretty cool.
it is. And I'm very blessed to be part of this department. I'm going to say it a million times, and I'm blessed to be working at the academy and sharing my skills that I've done since I was a kid.
Exactly. So let me kind of, your first fight, from what I understand, what were you, 9, 10?
I was, no, in boxing?
In competitive sports.
So I think we started karate tournaments at 5 years old.
At 5 years old.
My dad's crazy. My dad is an old,
So
Mr. Miyagi type Korean man, very traditional, and no pain, no gain with his children. We all had to do it.
Let's kind of bring it back a little bit in regards to that. So, what disciplines do you know?
Okay, so I competed karate, taekwondo, kickboxing, boxing,
Wow.
wrestling. So I
So-
think I've competed in those sports.
You've competed in all those.
Yes, my whole life.
Have you noticed that all of these kind of have given you an edge, or they've assisted you in your boxing career, and how?
In those sports, being competitive. So obviously I love to win.
Okay.
I hate losing.
So that
Yes,
that
the
overall-
competitiveness.
Yes.
I think it's helped me in boxing.
Okay.
And karate, taekwondo, kickboxing, you have to have flexibility. And that's also helped in boxing as well. Flexibility is, for me, I stretch every day before and after. And I feel like it helps me to prevent injuries.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, you stay limber.
Yes.
You're able to go in there and have a lot more of that flexibility, not that stiffness.
Yes. But I think the number one thing would be competitiveness.
Competitive.
For sure. I've lost a couple times in my life, and I hate losing. I hate the feeling of losing. I hate the feeling of getting tired. So I'll work extra just to never feel that again.
Really?
Yes. So whatever I could control, I'm going to definitely control. So working out, running, doing my exercises, doing
Exactly.
my push-ups, sparring. I'm going to control that because that's what I can. And when I get in the ring, it's going to be out of my control if I lose. Make sense?
I see exactly what you're saying, because at that moment now, that's the culmination of everything you've put in.
Yes.
And at that moment, like you said, well, now it's two basic warriors going
Yes.
at it.
Yes.
And of course, the one that is, the one that goes in there and basically, because fighting is there's so many variables.
Yes. Anything could happen in boxing because, again, you never know what could happen.
Exactly.
You never know what could happen. You step in there and
You've been training to do this type of strategy, but
And-
then this person has been training
Exactly.
to change this
exactly.
strategy.
Like
and
my last fight, for example, I trained one way. My strategy wouldn't be this thing, and then when I step in the ring, it was totally opposite. And again, my body was exhausted. overtraining. So I felt like that played a factor. But I did nothing that I trained to do. It was just muscle memory, but I did it because I trained in all aspects that I had to.
Okay.
But yeah, boxing is different.
And there's a lot that goes in there also, through the use of your intelligence, and I would imagine also wisdom, because
Yes.
For instance, that you're fighting Hannah. That is her first name.
Hannah.
Hannah
Turlip.
Hannah Turlip.
Yes.
Okay, so you're fighting her. She's 5-1.
5-1. She has her
The last fight she lost.
Yes.
Okay, against Chamberlain, I think it was, or what's her name?
Her name was Chelsea Anderson.
Anderson. So, yes, correct. I do apologize. Yes. So that is who you're gonna go now. Both of you, I think it's gonna be an excellent fight.
We're the same age. It is nice. She's an athlete as well.
Yes.
She is very, very aggressive, and she has a lot of heart. I think in boxing, you have to have a lot of heart, because if you have no heart, then you're not going to go anywhere, especially in professional boxing. And she definitely has it. So I know she's been given enough time to train. So I know she's going to try to take that win, but it's not going to happen. For me, again, my mentality is when I train as hard as I can, and I give it 100%. Mm-hmm. A lot of people ask me, are you nervous when you fight? I'm like, no, I'm not nervous when I fight. Not anymore. When I was a kid, I was very nervous. I'd be like, oh my goodness, what if she does this? What if she does that? Or I'd be questioning myself. But now my mentality is like, I've trained 100%. I know what I'm capable of. And when I step in that ring, I'm going to give it 100%. And the only way she's going to beat me is if I get knocked out or whatever things are out of my control.
Exactly.
Does that make sense? But I'm not going to give it to her. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to make it easy.
Yeah, you're not.
And it's going to be one hell of a fight. That's for sure.
There we go. Now let me kind of go in there and let me ask you this question. You say that you no longer get nervous, so you don't allow that internal voice to kind of overtake and guide you. Can you kind of walk us through, the day of the fight when you're about to, do you have like some type of, steps that you take, or a certain...
It was crazy. So my last fight, so obviously I would love to be calm, cool, and collected and only focus on my fight, but things happen. Things that are out of your control.
I could only imagine.
My last fight, the one I had in July against Miranda Reyes.
Yes.
Right before I was going to step on the ring, my husband calls me and tells me that Josie's in the hospital.
No way.
And I know she was sick that day, but I was like, I didn't know that she had to go to the hospital. Like, he was in the ambulance. They were going to the hospital.
En route.
Which was like a block away from where I was at, because it was close to UTEP. So she went to Providence Hospital. And I was like, what happened? He's like, she just had a seizure, So they rushed her to the hospital. And she was just really bad that day. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I was like, okay, after I hanged up on him, then I had to go step on the scales. And then after I was done, I went to the hospital to go check on my daughter.
No way, so you got out of there?
Yes, and then I had to go to the hospital, right?
That is wild.
So then, luckily she was discharged later. Thank goodness.
Thank God.
Thank goodness, right? Because my mind would have just been on her the whole day. And then we get released from the hospital. We go home. I try to sleep as best as I can.
And your mind is just...
It's all over. It's all over. And then I end up waking up. Obviously you want to have a good breakfast. You want to have a good lunch. And then I head to the fights. So my older sister, Jennifer, you met Jennifer.
Yes.
She's driving me to the fights with my brother and me in the vehicle. Literally a minute away from the Coliseum, we get into a car accident.
Get out of here. No way.
We get into a car accident. So this guy was driving, I can't remember the streets right now.
Come on,
it was
El
like
Paso,
a minute away from Boone. He was driving on the wrong way.
No.
He was driving on the wrong way. And he's coming like head on. And then Jennifer's driving. And I'm like, it's like one of those things you have to process in your mind.
Yes, that
and
you're like, is this for real?
Yeah, exactly. And then Jennifer's like, just like that. And I'm telling Jennifer, move. And then finally she moves, and then he hits us from the side, right?
Oh my God.
And then Jenny's like, was it my fault? I was like, no, Jennifer.
Just
obviously I'm a cop. I know exactly what happened.
Yeah,
you are not at fault. He's going the wrong way, And I was like, oh my goodness. I'm like, that was extremely stressful. So I had to call my coach, I had to call the promoter, and I had to let them know, I'm like, I'm fine, but I was just involved in an accident. Can you come and pick me up? So
I can only imagine. Are you okay? Is everything all right? Like,
So obviously you want to be peaceful, and
we're gonna have to bubble wrap you before you want
to be at peace before you have to fight. But things happen.
Yes.
So this last fight, I just realized that anything could happen, and just be ready for it, and just internalize and just breathe and relax and let it go. And that's what I had to do. I learned a lot from this past fight. My daughter being in the hospital, letting it go, getting in a car accident a minute away from the location, right before we're gonna get there. Police officers, they showed up like, okay, well, good luck to you on your fight, and I'm like, well, thank you. So
like, sister, handle this. I gotta take off.
That's exactly what happened. But I had enough time.
Thank God you guys were okay. I'm sorry I'm laughing, but I'm like, oh my God.
It could have been worse. It could have been worse.
Yeah.
I think if I didn't tell my sister, because Jenny was in so much shock, it would have been like a head-on hard collision, and I wouldn't have been able to fight. But she moved at the last minute, and the impact wasn't as bad as it should have been, but it was just shocking. Very shocking.
Isn't that wild?
Yes. It was
So
wild.
the moral of the story is kind of be ready.
Yes, be ready for anything.
Be ready for anything.
Be ready for anything. And
yeah, of course, you would love to have an ideal thing where you're just kind of like meditating, you're, possibly watching some film, I don't know, doing your thing.
Yes.
But that is just wild.
Yep. It is crazy. Crazy. For me, it was
Had
crazy.
you ever told this story before?
I didn't say anything.
No, is this the first time you kind of
this is the first time I'm expressing it. My family knows.
Yes.
My family knows what happened with my daughter. My family knows what happened in the accident. I sent them a group picture of what happened. You know what I mean? But I never told this to anybody. For me, I'm very reserved.
Yes.
I felt like me expressing this before the fight wasn't necessary. My focus is on the fight and coming home with that win. So that was my focus.
So you just basically got in there and you're like, okay, let's let's go. Like,
let's go. I relaxed. I let it go. I had probably like 2 hours before my fight, and I just
tape me up. They're ready to go in there.
And then now my focus is the fight.
That is so bizarre. You know what I'm trying to go into?
My family was like, we feel like someone doesn't want you to fight. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what happened, but I had to overcome. I definitely had to overcome for this fight for sure. But my last fight.
Yeah, it's like that could be, wow, that is just craziness.
Even the promoter, he told me, he was like, wow. He told me this after my fight. I saw him last month. He was like, I gave a lot of respect to you because of things that you had to overcome. Because it would have been so easy for me to just pull out of the fight based on my excuses, right? Based on my daughter being in the hospital, based on being in a vehicle accident. But he's like, yeah, now I know you're tough. You know what I mean? You're one tough cookie that you went through that and you still fought. And I was like, yeah, there's no excuse. It is what it is.
Amazing.
I'm gonna do what I have to do.
That is amazing. Now, let me ask you something else. And like I said, and after that, I would like to go ahead and get the pamphlet once again, put it up there so that people could see it. But I did want to go in there and ask you, how hard is it for you to go in there and specifically, within your weight and everything, to get fights? I would like to kind of talk about that.
So right now, because I'm at the level
that you are,
I am right now, it wouldn't be that difficult because I in a sense I've made it. Especially if I win this world title, I know that other girls are going to try to take it from me. So who doesn't want an opportunity of becoming a world champion?
Yes.
So I feel like now I wouldn't have, especially if I have that belt, it's not going to be hard to get fights. But beforehand, very, very difficult. Extremely difficult, especially if you're not signed with anybody. If you're not signed with anybody and you're a good boxer, it's going to be hard for you because no one wants to fight with you because you are a threat to them. Make sense?
Now, and I guess one of the last questions, you do have to go in there. There has to be, I imagine, medical, all of that other stuff. Is that something that you have to cover, like before a fight? Because we've interviewed other fighters here, from UFC and different other different disciplines. Do you have to? I imagine you have to get a physical. You have to get there's a whole medical protocol that you have to. Does that something that you have to cover?
Yes. So thank goodness I have insurance with the city of El Paso.
Okay, yeah, exactly. You through the PD.
Yes, you have to get eye exams. You have to get a physical exam. You have to get your blood work, and that is something that we have to cover ourselves.
Really?
As fighters have to cover themselves. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So you have to make sure that you do that. You turn in all this to the actual association.
Correct.
They have that as a record. Now you're betted.
Yes.
You guys are ready to go in there.
You have to do it every year.
Really?
Every year. Yes, sir.
Okay, and now, what is the typical amount of fights a fighter, should have in your opinion? Is it once a year, twice a year?
It just depends. It depends on the fighter as well. Some fighters are very blessed because they have a promoter and they're on a fast track. They know
They have a schedule.
They have a schedule. Okay, so you're gonna be fighting 2 times a year, 3 times a year. So get ready. You know what I mean? You're gonna fight this date in a couple months. You're gonna fight this date in a couple months after that. You know what I mean? So they already know what to do. Other fighters, they're not as fortunate, so they have to be ready 100% of the time. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna be the last minute fighters. They're gonna be called the last minute to be able to get a fight.
Hey, somebody got sick.
Exactly.
Come on in.
Exactly.
Your turn to fill out.
So my brother Abraham, he was the last minute guy.
Really?
Yes. So my brother was very athletic, very, very talented.
Very talented, yes.
But again, a threat. You know what I mean? A threat. So my brother, he was always called last minute to fight those world class athletes. So my brother had to stay ready year round.
That in itself, you have to have a total different discipline. You have to be,
You have to be committed to stay in shape all year round.
Which that in itself is like how you had said to bring back that 10-year gap that you kind of took. That in itself, like you said, having that constant grind, being in that top level to perform. I mean, it can get mentally,
exhausting. Yes.
Exhausting.
My second year coming back to boxing, I think I had 1 fight, but I was training the whole year. I was training the whole year.
365.
I was training the whole year, and I think I had 1 fight, but I was supposed to fight like 3 times that year, but it didn't. The fights didn't go through. The opponents backed out, so it was extremely frustrating. So I was like, should I even be doing this? Like I'm losing time for my family. I'm losing time that I should be making on the department, like extra off-duty money. Like, is the sacrifice even worth this? You know what I mean? I am sacrificing a lot to be training, and I'm barely getting a fight. And again, the doubt. I'm like, am I be able to make it to become a world champion because I'm not getting these fights? So it was a lot of internal questioning in the beginning, me coming back to boxing. But again, God has blessed my path.
Amen.
He has blessed my path, and I'm so grateful to him because now all hard work is paying off.
So we're seeing the actual. Now let me. Okay, so before we kind of go in there and actually close this out, I want to bring up 2 things. Number one, as you can see on the screen, we do have the overall the ring wars. It's of course Stephanie Han, Jorge Tovar, and Victor Aranda. They're going to be fighting before you. You're the main.
Yes.
You're the main bout, correct?
Yes.
So shout out to that. Now let me ask you something. What if there's companies, there's people that end up seeing this and they're like, hey, we want to support you, we want to help you out, we want to go in there and what can we do to get behind you and help you out? Can you kind of explain both for the individuals in the commercial side and then those that would like to do it individually?
If they're interested in sponsoring me and reaching out and helping me in any way, please message me. Please message me. I have a team and my family. I have the best team in the world. They can lead me and guide me. I have a manager. But yes, anything helps. It is a sacrifice becoming a professional boxer, especially when I don't have, all these sponsorship opportunities. I pay out of pocket. Again, I fill up 3 times to gas just to go train.
Yeah, no,
just
that in
to go
itself.
train. You know what I mean? So the sacrifices are real. But again, I'm doing it because I believe in myself. I know I could be a world champion. I know I could be undisputed champion.
I know you can.
I have responsibilities to my family, so any help does help
Would
me.
help.
I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
honestly, because we're super amazed. So now let's kind of go in there and let's kind of talk about this. So if we have businesses that kind of, want to collaborate with you and they would love to say, hey, you know what, Stephanie, when you walk out that ring, I would love my logo to be there.
Oh yes.
What?
If you wanna sponsor me and collab with me, and I could promote your businesses with logos, of course, I am down to help you.
So that is
sure.
on the commercial. So you guys heard this. So if you're a business owner out there and you love the sport and you love, to go in there and actually, promote our local fighters from El Paso, there is way of collaboration. I mean, there is way for you to go out there and actually get exposure, number one, for your company. So it's a win-win situation. And then number two, you're also helping
Yes, the
you
fighter.
know, a fighter. So I think that would be something pretty, you know, that would be something amazing. Now, let me ask you this: for individuals, if they just simply want to go in there, I mean, I don't know, even if they want to send you, I don't know, $5, $10, whatever they can, $100, $1,000, you know, is that something that you welcome?
I'm open to it for sure. If you guys want to help me and sponsor me in any way, again, training is very expensive.
Exactly.
The sacrifice is very expensive, and I still have to provide for my family. All help is very appreciated. And then sponsorship opportunities, please, you help me, I help you, and in the end, I just want to become a world champion.
Yeah, and it's lift up El Paso in all different ways. They get that win-win. Now, can you please let us know where people could follow you? Where people, like, you know, what are your handles? What's your Insta? Do you have TikTok? Do you have all that? How can people follow you?
So I have Facebook, and I also have Instagram.
Okay.
So I know my Instagram name is StephHan09. I should probably change it to Stephanie Han the Enforcer.
There we go. I like that. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna borrow your guys to
Oh,
help
there
me
you
figure
go.
it out on my phone, because I'm not a tech person. But please look me up, Stephanie Han Instagram.
Okay.
Or Stephanie Han on Facebook.
Sweet. So this is how people could go in there and follow you, because you're constantly posting not only about your personal life, your family, which beautiful family, your husband, you know, your actual family, your brothers, sisters, your father, but you also put a lot of content regarding, you know, future fights,
Yes.
events,
So that's
training.
that's why I'll promote the fights. So I know I have it promoted for my next fight, February 22nd at the El Paso County Coliseum. Yes, I'm gonna start promoting more about me training.
Yeah.
Not too much, just looking cool enough so you guys can come to fights, but I can't give too much to my opponent.
Yeah, no, you can't. You don't want to get the secret sauce, you know? I agree. Now, let me ask you this. So now let's say that people are like, hey, well, I want to go watch the fight.
Yes.
Now, we were talking that, yes, you could get them, through Ticketmaster, you could get them through all that, but it's better to get them through you.
Yes.
So if people want to go out there, number one, get to either meet your sister, your family, who I imagine you guys sell them directly, so they could actually contact you. Is there an actual webpage, a phone number where, you know, fans out there, if they want, like, number one, they want to support you, they want to go show up to the fight, they want to have a great time, you know, do something cool in El Paso,
Yes.
And get to meet you before,
Yes.
where can they contact you? Where can they call? Where can they go to actually get, you know, that information? Because February 22nd is coming
Yes,
by.
I
We're
know.
basically,
I know.
you know, we're right there. We're 30 days out,
Yes.
you know.
My family, we have 2 gyms in El
Okay.
Paso martial arts schools.
So there's 2 gyms.
We have a gym in Northeast El Paso,
Okay.
Hans Oriental Martial Arts,
So Hans Oriental, okay.
9861 Dyer Street.
9861 Dyer
You
Street
can buy tickets there. And then my
Okay.
brother has a gym on the west side,
on the west side.
Hans Martial Arts,
Hans Martial Arts,
and it is 6910 North Mesa.
6910 North Mesa.
So they're selling tickets there, but you
Okay.
can always buy tickets or message me via social media.
There you go.
Facebook.
So Insta or
Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
I would love to meet you. So it is better to buy tickets from the fighters because it shows the promoter that we can sell tickets.
Exactly.
And you do save money with us compared to Ticketmaster because I know that they have all their fees. However, if you cannot meet us, if you cannot go to locations, buy them on Ticketmaster because I want you there.
There you go.
I want
So
you there. The
guys heard
fighters
it.
want you there. Please come out.
So you guys heard it. So the best route though is let's go out there El Paso. Let's support, you know, Stephanie. Let's buy them from her.
Yes,
you know,
buy 'em
either
from
her brother or her dad's actual, you know, academies, you know, martial arts, you know, academy. I think that would be great. I think it'd be pretty cool for you guys to go in there and kind of just take a picture, you know, there at that place and show the support. So buy them directly from her. But like you said, if you don't have the time, you just want to make sure that you do want to show up, get them to Ticketmasters. Now, is there a phone number that they could call, or is that something that you know, or is best, or if not, direct messenger through either Instagram or Facebook?
Yes,
Okay,
direct
perfect.
message me, but my family, they do have a phone number. So the family business in Northeast is
915
751
751
2777.
2777. That's pretty easy number. Yes.
So that's Northeast location.
Northeast.
The West Side location, my brother's school, 915
915
328
328
21
2167.
67.
So you guys heard it. Those are the 2 numbers that'll also appear at you know, in the actual screen. Let me ask you something. And I don't know. I could talk for hours.
No, it's okay.
You know, and I do, and I know
is
that.
fine.
You know.
No problem.
Let me ask you this. What if we have, you know, parents who have children that they kind of want to also, participate in your family's, discipline. They want to go out there. They want to be part of either your brother's, gym, or, the one that your father has. What would your recommendations would be that? Is there any time where, hey, you guys could come out here, try this out? Is it okay if we promote them?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My dad has been teaching martial arts for 45 years in El Paso, maybe 50. He's been in El Paso for a very long time.
Very long time.
I know a lot of people know who Master Han is in El Paso. Very humble man, but he knows his stuff. He's a true master. I think martial arts for kids is a beautiful thing.
Exactly. Get them off.
Beautiful thing. The discipline that they're going to learn, the respect that they're going to have. Especially nowadays, a lot of kids have no respect for their parents.
Yeah.
They have no respect for the parents. We teach respect your parents. That's number one.
Really?
If you cannot respect your parents, if you cannot respect yourselves, then you cannot be a student with us. You have to respect them. You have to appreciate them. They're bringing you here. Respect them. That is number one thing. Respect them. Again, discipline, cardio, endurance. You're going to learn so much, and martial arts benefits you not just only for a short time, but lifetime.
Exactly. So you guys had heard it. Now, should they just contact the gym, or should they go and check it out?
If they want to buy tickets, number one, go to the gyms.
Go to the gyms. Yeah, exactly.
Northeast location, west side location. But again, the numbers that I provided you, the northeast one, the west side one, someone's going to answer and they're going to give you information. But you should definitely go. Again, it's not only just kids, but as a family too. If you want to join it with your kid, give them, lead by example. It's a great thing. I've seen families do it. Parents, they watch their kids, but they're like, hey, why not? Why can't I do this? You know what I mean? So they come and join in. So it's a great thing that the whole family gets to exercise and learn something.
There we go. So you see, it could be an entire family event. So I'm so glad that we had that talk, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of individuals that would like to go in there, and they would like to at least put a path for their kids to say, hey, you know what, let's give you an alternative. Because I think that's literally what's happening nowadays, is that kids have the world at the palm of their hands and their phone. So they're exposed to many things. And they're not really, self-developing, working on the self, working on those foundations. And I think that that's why we have a lot of, individuals that kind of, how can I go in there and say it best? Get lost.
Yes. And a lot of kids nowadays, they don't know how to socialize.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
No, they don't know how to socialize, so it's good for them. I think martial arts is a great sport. Anything, just get out and do something.
Exactly.
And this one is a good opportunity for you to do it with your family. So why not?
Sweet.
Why not get in shape? And everyone's like, I'll wait to get in shape. Let me work on myself. You're never going to work on yourself. Start now.
There you go. Start now. Look, I honestly, Stephanie, I really do want to appreciate you. Like I said, I would like to just say, hey guys, please go out there and let's support Stephanie. But before we go in there and close out, would you like to look at the camera and say anything that you would like to go in there and add, specifically for your fan base, and yeah, whatever you'd like to go in there and say.
Again, my name is Stephanie Han. I appreciate you guys having me on your podcast. It really means a lot, the exposure that you're giving me. I am fighting for the WBA World Title here in El Paso, Texas, February 22nd at the El Paso County Coliseum. Please come out, support me, as well as all the local fighters here in El Paso. We need your support. I'm proud to be from El Paso. I'm proud to serve this community. Just please come out. Please come out. If you can, follow me on social media. I need the support, and follow my journey. Thank you.
Well, you guys heard it. Once again, El Paso, you guys heard this. We want to really thank you for, joining us in another episode. Stephanie, I really do appreciate you.
Thank you.
Guys, until next one. See you later. Thank you so much.